Alright, so let's continue to the next part where we will see the differences between the input system of Unity and Godot. Okay, so let me open up my script over here. So in the last section, you saw that we had added this particular code and where we were listening to the key code space and then we were applying the force, right? So now if we see it this code with the Unity's perspective, so we have you can see we have hard coded this for the listening for the space. So this really binds us to always use a keyboard, and if we want to, let's say, add support for different controllers or something, so in that case we have to again go ahead and add the code like that. But thankfully Unity has a input system using which we can obviously use that. So what we can do is we can type in like input dot get access. So instead of key, we are going to get the access, and for the access name we can type in jump. Okay, and if it is not equals to 0, then we are going to add something. So let's see if that works or not, and later on obviously I'll show you where it is configured. So for example, right now let me disable the canvas, and if I hit play, and let's try to see if that works. And yes, that actually works. So basically if I try to hit space, so the ball is coming down, it went off. But for example, if I just press debug.log, if I say that jump is happening. So again, I'm not going to go into so much of details how to configure the input here. I'm just showing you the basic difference. So if I hit play now, and if I try to open up the console, and you can see the if I hit space, so the logs are coming, right? And what we can do in order to customize it, we can go into the project settings, and let me drag it over here, and we go to the input manager. So you can see we have different axes which is default defined by default. So if we here we have jump, so here it is set for space. Similarly, we have something called as vertical, horizontal, which is bind it is bind to different keys of the keyboard and other things. So this is Unity's default old input system. Unity has introduced the new input system as well, but overall this is how Unity works, right? So now let's see, as a Godot developer, how you can create input actions and how you can bind it using the script. So creating input actions is fairly simple and easy. So all you have to do is click on the project. Okay, go to the project settings, and here you will get a bunch of different options. Now from here you go to the input map. Okay, and if you enable this show built-in actions, so you will see there are built-in default UI actions, also the input actions which is already defined. You can go ahead and use that as default, or else you can disable them, sorry, not disable them, hide them. Okay, and you can create your own input action. So for example, if I want to create a new input action, so let's give it a name, call make underscore the ball jump. Now I'm just giving a very descriptive name, and if I hit enter, so my input action has been added. Now for this input action, I can add different events using different controllers. So for example, if I want this input action to trigger whenever there is a press on space on the keyboard, so I can click and the add event, and I can click over here for to initiate the listening mode. So it's currently listening for my input, and whatever input I'll give, it will add that as a binding. So if I hit press space, so now you can see it has detected that I have pressed space, and if I simply hit OK, so it is going to bind the space button with this action. So similarly, I can add another action as well. For example, if I want to check perform this trigger using the right button down for my mouse. So I can right click, and now it has detected right mouse button. I can press OK to add that. So now I have added an input action, right? So I can just simply close it. There is no need to save it manually, so because it is auto saved. Now if I come back over here into my script, so here you can see under the process function, which is running every frame, I am checking whether is action just press UI accept. Now UI accept, as I showed you, it is a part of the default input bindings which Godot comes out of the box. So I can obviously remove that, and I can use my custom input action which I had just created. So I'm gonna type in make the ball jump. Okay, if I hit Control S to save, hit press play, and now if I hit the space key a couple of times, I think the ball has vanished. Let me restart that, and now you can see I can press space in order to make it jump, and also I can press the right mouse button in order to make the jump. So as you can see, the input system, defining the input system in Godot is pretty straightforward and simple, and also the modularity makes it really easy to add different controls to the input system. So now in the next section, we will see the key performance and engine capabilities between the two. So see you in the next one.